I'm Lloyd Nichols. I'm here with my wife, Doreen Nichols, and we've been doing this essentially market garden since the 70s. Our sons are pretty well taken over. I've managed to delegate most of the jobs off. They give me a tough job like giving you guys a tour. I'm a gardener that found a niche at farmers markets. That was something that we could do on our own. We could sell it directly to people. We could sell the quantity that we produced. When farmers markets started, there was nobody like me. There was nobody like me. There wasn't people that grew 100 varieties of crops. Some of the stands had that, but stands have an obligation to make money. So they buy produce to fill their stand early. So when farmers markets started, those were the people that started going to farmers markets. So they would buy produce from wholesale and supplement it with their own product. When the city started doing farmers markets in the 70s, they got more than 30 growers to go to the farmers markets. I was the only one that grew and sold what I grew. The first year was 4 acres of garden. That was the challenge. No big equipment. We had a rototiller and a hoe. And me planting by hand. You know, I got her to help. It's like, oh man, this is getting a bit much. So I went into town, found a couple of guys at the bar that were willing to come out and help me pick some vegetables. So every year since 1978, I've planted hundreds of trees. So I've planted probably over 15,000 fruit trees. Everything I do with variety, like 9 varieties. The idea being one of them is going to be right. So we got all these varieties, so we need specialists. These guys are my apple specialist picking crew. They know the orchard better than me, you know what I mean? But these are the ones they picked today. These are the ones that will be going to the market or in a CSA. What I found was people verbally said they wanted organic apples, but they didn't want imperfect apples. I would offer these organic apples with blemishes and they would reject them. They would go to the guy who sprayed 23 times and have a clean, beautiful looking apple. And I says, I can't do this, it's too frustrating. So what I did was I incorporated the best of what I could. What I knew was I could get a high percentage of apples if I could control scab. The technique to get away from insects can be unbelievably costly or impossible to do. We're certified sustainable, so we use the minimum amount of herbicide, but that also means you lose a lot of battles. You have to overproduce to have a crop like that, you know what I mean? And most people can't do that. No, most people aren't devoting 50 acres of orchard to get what you can get from 10. And then there's an element of politics. So you didn't all of a sudden just become a grower. Now you had to have a produce vendor that would sell your product. And if there's 3 or 4 other people that have the similar product, they tell who gets what first. Not only might you not make money doing it, and you might not get the best price, and if they don't sell it, you know, it's garbage. It's only as good as you can sell it. If you can't sell it, it doesn't do you a lot of good to grow it. And that's what keeps most people out of it. Well, one of the tough things to do here is grapes. This vineyard here keeps on getting frozen back. Every year that we get really cold, I have to retrain them. These vines are 40-something years old. These are full-size Concord.
Woo. Yeah, they are. Wow, that's a fun one.
Food tastes different from different fields. You know, I mean, if you're a connoisseur of wine, you can tell where that grape was grown, and that's true with vegetables. If you want to have a relationship with where your food comes from, you need to know where it comes from. And if you grow it and present it, and you know what it is, how could somebody not want to eat that product versus something that they have no idea where it comes from, who grew it, or what it is? You guys are relating to only people that are growing for themselves, which is really nice for people to do because they get the option of tasting food when it's ripe. If you wait until a pear is ripe on the tree, it's no good. Every gardener has a spring load of seed catalogs to look at. And it starts out with A and it goes through Z. And if you buy something from every category, you end up with a tremendous variety. And it does one unique thing. It makes a season. If you grow everything there is, you grow it all. We've been growing everything that there is since I started doing gardening. We have some of the same customers for 42 years. When I go to the Evanston Farmers Market, I still know some of those people. An unbelievable devotion to the fact that I could leave this planet better off than I started with. This is not the Ben production tour because we got some serious fields of production. 80 down here and 60 and then 200 down the road. Well, you want any more than that, you're gonna have to pay.